I apologize first and foremost if you guys hear a fan in the background. It's kind of hot where I live, so I'm just sorry if you hear it. Typical stuff in the background. If you hear it, I apologize first and foremost. But as you can tell by the future uh, title of this video, as I'm right now streaming this live. Sorry to everyone streaming who is here live, if you are here. Um, it's going to be a bit personal, and I don't think it's going to be a very long episode. This is just something I kind of want off my chest immediately. Um, so let me get through the intro first before we get into the meat and potatoes, because I also want to address three things, or have three things addressed. Gosh, I cannot speak. I have something in my mouth. It's a cough lozenge. I've been talking all day, the work, whatever. Um, so again, I know I just mentioned stream. I do stream this sometimes over on Twitch. Link to that will be down in the description below if you are interested in coming by and saying hello. You might see content like this for the second channel, or even potentially any main channel shenanigans in the near future. Unfortunately, I cannot have clickable links in my description, so if you want to copy and paste it, you can. If you don't have the ability to, I might see if I can have something in the corners that you can click on and get the link that way. If not, then in any search bar or whatever, it's twitch.tv/simvida, SIMVIDA, if you are interested in coming and seeing these live. So thank you for that. And while you're down in the description, and if you enjoy the content, feel free to give a like and maybe even subscribe. Comment anything if you want me to, review or just talk about whatever you want me to hear my thoughts on. Whoa. What the? What did I just do? Okay. Did not know that could happen. Good to know. But yeah, if you like what you see and want to see more of it, definitely give it a like, subscribe, or a comment. It really helps out the channel in every possible way. I thank you guys for everything. Oh god. Why is it like this? I thank you guys for everything you've done for me so far, and I greatly appreciate it. So, without further ado, let's kind of just get into things I need to address real quick. One, I apologize for the sound, the audio, and the other two, potentially three videos. I'm working on the third one right now. This is gonna be the fourth one. Ooh. By the time that third one comes out, it should be hopefully squared away. I'm gonna actually work on this right after this session, so we'll see about that. But I apologize again for the sound. I know it's not where I thought it would be, because I'm gonna be honest, I use this headset that I'm talking into right now that you guys can hear me through into Twitch. I use it for my laptop as well, and to be quite honest with you, I don't know if it's just me or just the settings that I have on my laptop, and on top of that, this wireless headset, it just sounds like loud to me on those, but the moment I switch over to my AirPods and my phone, it's so freaking low. So I apologize for that. Secondly, by the time this one comes out, the third one should have already come out, hopefully. If you guys like that style of content, or I just have whatever playing in the background and I, in a longer format, have like things, oh god, I grab things like cliff notes, or even I want to say like scripts as well, if you guys like enjoy that kind of content, or it might be longer videos, yeah, but if that's something that you enjoy seeing or hearing or whatever have you, let me know down in the comments below. I greatly appreciate that. And lastly, in one of the comment sections of my videos, I'm not gonna throw any names out, but you know who you are. Oh my god. Thank you. Alright, sorry about that. You know who you are. Uh, there was talks about potential main channel video. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not gonna happen. I scrapped that video idea, and it was the Lucio Ball placements. That was me and my friends recorded a while back. This is like years ago. Back when I had my crappy laptop. I think that's everything for this map, actually. Yeah, it is. That's when I had my crappier laptop. So, unfortunately, I decided not to go through with that content. So I deleted it. It's gone. It's not happening. End of the story. Apologize. But sorry, not sorry. Not gonna happen. So, with all of that out the way, what I mainly wanted to talk about is something that's pretty near and dear to my heart. Actually, especially, well, more so in recent times than overall. For my live viewers, you won't possibly know quite yet. I'm just about to get into it, but you know, people over there on YouTube um, will know exactly what's going to happen based off the title of this video. So, I don't know about you guys, but in my neighborhood, oops, grabbed the wrong thing. In my neighborhood, we have a bunch of stray cats. And we've had cats here for honestly upwards of 10 or 11 years. This cat in particular is, I think we started seeing her back in 2015. And it's funny because I would see her and other different types of cats on different streets, and I'd like to think that's like their territories or like they're like whatever, you know, they they don't cross into it. You know, sometimes I'll see one cat and the other cat, and I'll see this cat and that cat, but you know, everyone respects their own lane essentially. And this particular white cat, we eventually, or my sister and her family, who were living with us at that time, we took care of it and fed it and you know gave it love and etc etc for quite some time. They named her Kiki, Kiki, and um, she was a really cool cat, and she was really nice. She was really nice to them. I didn't really interact with her much at this time, or at that time, so I didn't really. She would sit with me when I would play outside with my friends, and yeah, that was when I was playing out with my friends across the street or whatever, or you know, that's when I was touching grass, right? And um, it was cool. It was really nice. That was a hell bomb. Could have ran into that. And eventually, they moved away. So unfortunately, no one really took up the mantle for, I believe, some time to take care of the cat. She was still around, and she lived through a bunch of other cats who honestly surprised me that they had unfortunately passed away. Um, so it was cool to see her still kicking around and everything. And eventually, my neighbor, more so my neighbor's husband, took up the mantle to help her. Of course, she would still come around like our house, you know, asking for food, meowing at the door, and at that point, she still had her meow, her voice, I guess. Unfortunately, in the later years, she had lost it and it became like more raspy, which is unfortunate. But yeah, uh, she would come meow at the door asking for food and all this other stuff, and you know sometimes we gave her some. Whoa, whoa. Okay, I brought the wrong pistol for this, so I gotta take care of that. But yeah, we'd give her food and all this other stuff, and eventually he took over, and he gave it food, gave it like a little collar, gave it, I presume, a bed and everything, because he had left their garage door open, just cracked enough where she can get in and get out as freely as she wanted, because she was still a street cat at heart. I don't think they could really keep her in one spot for a very long time. So when push came to shove, uh, she was around and she was being groomed. She was, you know, a well-kept cat, but she was still a street cat at heart. But unfortunately, um, the husband and the neighbor had split up, so he ended up leaving. And our neighbor, our original neighbor, she didn't want anything to do with the cat. So every time the cat would come by, she would shoo it away. And like occasionally she would um, still come by and she would get shooed by her, by the neighbor. And they kind of just shut her off. And unfortunately, uh, that neighbor had also left. She had moved. And when new neighbors came in, uh, they just kept pushing her away. And I saw this cat, Kiki. She was a white cat. I looked at her and I was thinking to myself, since everyone else had gone, who would take care of her, I presume, because I believe there was someone else taking care of her, or at least giving her food and feeding her, but I have no confirmation on that. This is just my guesses. And um, I decided to start giving her food. And originally it was my dog's food, which is really bad for her because she had to bite really hard. They were really thick pieces, so I hear her crunch a lot on the dog food. And then we ultimately decided, okay, let's get her cat food. So I started adding cat food orders along with my dogs because I own a dog. And slowly but surely, the cat who I kind of grew up with, who was like my childhood cat in a way, I actually started to take care of her. Oh gosh. That was a mistake. Mistakes were made. And I started feeling like, wow, I practically, you know, take care of this cat right now. Although I don't necessarily have a home for her, she would sometimes run into the garage and she would stay in there and even sometimes scare my parents. But yeah, she felt comfort in coming by and coming for food and all this and all that. And I started feeling like, wow, I'm the owner of this freaking cat. Let's go. Like, this is cool. This is awesome. I feel good. And, you know, she started coming by almost daily. Sometimes she would run into the garage late at night when my parents would come home from work, or come by into the garage when I came home from work, and even in the mornings when I went and left early in the morning for work. Even the same with my parents. So she was constantly around. You know, some might see it as a kind of an annoyance. I never did, just because to me it felt like she was safe with us. Like she felt comfort in coming to us. Yeah, she might have had that other family. I don't know. Again, it's a good possibility, but you know, I knew that she was safe, and eventually she started coming by so often that it started becoming a daily norm, like I just said. Oops, let me get out of that. And even on the days that she would run into the garage, and if it was just me home alone, I would give her food in the garage, and I would sit down and I would pet her. Yeah, she stunk like a motherfucker, but you know, I at least wanted to show her something that I think that she was longing for, was a home, was a sense of family, was a sense to be loved. And it was like that for about 6 months to a year until, unfortunately, last Friday. And I'm recording this, this is March. March, yeah. Forgot my dates. This is March 23rd, Monday. This particular event happened on Friday morning, March 20th. When I was getting ready to get out of the house to go to work. I opened the garage door, and at this point I haven't seen her in a couple of days. Mind you, she has bouts where she would disappear for like a couple days and then come back later on. And I assumed to see her that day because she had actually been on my mind a couple days prior. I opened the garage door, and just less than a foot away from the sidewalk, basically my driveway, I saw a body of a white cat, and I knew instantly. Friday morning, March 20th, around 7, between 6:30 and 7 a.m., someone had deliberately struck and ran over Kiki. And I don't know if it was instant. I don't know if it was painful, but it was not a pleasant sight to see. I won't get into the details of that, but it hurt my heart because she was so close to the sidewalk. Someone had deliberately, and the reason why I know this is because you can put 1 foot away from the sidewalk. I didn't, because I really had to go that morning. But you could, it was less than a foot away from the sidewalk. Someone had swerved into her and unfortunately crushed her. And that tore me to pieces. Because here I had this cat who I was growing close with and having a bond with, who I was honestly planning on adopting when we got done with cleaning our garage, which was still a mess, but I was really hoping that I'd get it done, get a bed for her, litter box, food, water, etc. I really, really wanted to adopt this cat. At this point, she was pushing 11 to 12 years old. So she was an old gal. So seeing her body there, the way it was, I was hurt beyond words. Because now that isn't a stray cat anymore, that was my cat. That someone had deliberately and intentionally hurt. I'm not angry or upset with the person who did it, but they're a monster. I'm gonna be straight up and honest with you. She did not deserve that. So this entire video is just kind of like a little tribute to the cat and kind of just the memories surrounding her. I actually found a photo of her the other day. Oh my god. Let me, hold on. I got this, I can fix it. Still not fixed? Bruh. There we go, let's go. And it damn near brought me to tears. Actually, that entire day was such a bad day for me. It had ruined my entire weekend. Had ruined my Friday. And I kind of just kept it to myself. Until now. Obviously, my parents and I are affected by the cat's passing. But it was my cat. She was mine. And what hurt me the most was, one, that I couldn't be there to comfort her in her last moments. And two, that I think she was going to see me that morning. Because that had happened no more than 15-20 minutes before I had stepped out. Because it was that fresh. It wasn't an overnight thing. It was literally that morning. Happened that morning. And to be quite honest with you, it does still hurt. I am still trying to process. I'm not. Well, it's this. That's lame. It still does hurt. And I'm not gonna act like it doesn't. I just want my cat back. That's it. I just really want her back. And unfortunately, I cannot get her back due to this person's actions. And whoever you are, I'm not angry. I'm not pissed off with you. I don't hate you. But I really don't like what happened. She didn't deserve that. You didn't have to do what you did. And in due time, you'll get what's coming. But that's not for me to decide. For now, all I can do is just mourn the death of my cat. And I will be honest with you, I still don't know how to really process it. Because it left such a hole in my heart. And obviously, I have my dog. And my dog loves me immensely. And in no way am I comparing the two animals. But when I looked at her, I saw an animal who wasn't necessarily reaching out, because I think she was beyond that. But I saw that what she needed was someone to be there for her. And to see her body there, the way it was, I just hope that even if she didn't see me there, that she felt loved. Because that's what she was. She was near dear to my heart. And I'm sorry to make this kind of a really depressing episode. But I can't help and really think of like what I could have done. I don't feel like I failed her, but at the same time I feel like I failed her. She just didn't deserve that. She really didn't. So, regardless of what happens, she was the cat that decided to eventually choose me. But other people had different intentions. I wish that things played out differently. I wish I did fulfill the ability to adopt her. I wish I did get the chance to comfort her. I wish I had more time with her. And it doesn't feel the same anymore. But what I can do is do her right by giving more of that attention, more of that intention, as if, and I'm not saying that I wasn't before, but it's to give it more now to my dog. Because everything I would have given to her, he also would also receive, obviously. But I just I hate to end this on such a sour note, and I'm still trying to work through it. To Kiki, you were the weirdest freaking cat that I ever knew. You wanted love and attention, but yet you were so distant at the same time. It's so freaking funny. I think that's just a cat being a cat. Rest in peace, Kiki. At least you're not suffering anymore. If you made it to the end of this, and I apologize if this is kind of shorter than usual, And I didn't mean to make this such uh, a really depressing episode, but this is just more so a tribute to Kiki. If you stuck around this long, I definitely appreciate it. And I'm not really gonna ask anything right now, but thank you. It's kind of crazy that a stray animal can make you feel the emotions as if you had a were their owner. I'll miss you, Kiki, and I'll see you in the next life. Rest in peace. And to you guys, again, thank you for sticking around. You guys have a good one. Bye.